Hi, and welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time joining me. We have a little short and sweet full body stretch for you today, perfect to add on after a workout to get that recovery in, or just at the end of a day to get the body nice and loose after a long day. So I want you to go ahead and start on your feet. Feet are hip width apart. Plant your feet into the floor, making sure that you're grounding through all four corners of the feet. I want you to reach your arms up and over. Keeping the back nice and straight, I want you to start shooting the hips, the booty down, back behind you. As you start to hinge forward, keeping the back nice and straight. Keep reaching through your arms here. We're gonna hold it halfway. Feeling the back of the legs start to activate here, making sure your gaze is still towards the ground. Grow, grow, grow through the arms. And you're gonna come down and roll it up to the top. We're gonna go for 3 rounds here. I'm gonna reach up, pressing my hips back behind me. Back is nice and straight. I hold halfway. Bring it down and roll it up. One more. Reach. Halfway. We hold. Keep growing here. And roll it down. Planting the hands into the floor. Bend the knees. Relax the head. And you're going to stretch it up. You bend the knees and stretch. Bend and stretch. Nice and slow here. One more, and you're gonna hold it here with the legs straight. So it doesn't have to be all the way straight, wherever feels good for you without arching through the lower back. So I want you to think about pressing the sits bones up towards the ceiling, keeping the back nice and straight. So if that means you bend the knees a bit more, go right ahead. Relax your head wherever you are. Beautiful. And we're gonna walk down to the floor into a plank to start. And you're gonna bring your knees down onto the mat. So coming into all fours, tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, hips aligned with the knees. I'm gonna tuck my toes under, starting with the knees on the floor, and I'm gonna lift the knees up and then press back into a downward dog. So a few rounds here. I'm gonna come down, the knees tap on the floor, hips press up, bring it back to a downward dog. Now you don't need to lengthen out through the knees when you come into that downward dog. You can keep the knees bent here. The idea here is to keep the hips pressing up towards the ceiling, and then back down. 2 more like this. Let's go. Bring it up. Good. Make sure you're breathing. Bring it down. Last one. We're going to hold that downward dog and pedal out through the feet, right and left. So pressing alternate heels down onto the floor. Good. Take your time here. Stretching out through the back of the leg. Good. I'm going to reach my left leg up towards the ceiling, bend that knee, and I'm going to open up my hip. So I'm gazing through my left armpit, opening up that hip. Take a second here, just breathe. Good. Let's bring it back down to face the mat, back into a downward dog, and knees come down. So staying on that left side, I'm going to walk my left foot outside of my left hand. Lift it up first here to start, so making sure that both knees are properly bent at 90-degree angles, and I'm going to shift my hips forward. So feeling that stretch in the right hip flexors, right arm comes up overhead. Inhale, and on the exhale, you're going to lean it over to the left side. Keep sinking into those hips. A few deep breaths here. Good. I'm going to bring my right arm down onto the floor, and I'm going to bring my right foot in towards my booty. Reach that left hand back behind me to try and reach for the ankle. It's okay if you can't, just try. And if it's too much for you, you can go ahead and bring it up a little bit. And wherever you are, try and open up that chest and breathe. Good, nice and easy. I'm gonna relax, bring my foot back behind me, place my hand on the floor, coming back to tabletop position. Lifting the knees off of the mat and stretching back into a downward dog. A few more heel pedals here. And we're gonna go ahead and switch sides. I'm gonna lift my right leg up towards the ceiling, bend that knee, and open up the hip. Good, let's square the hips down towards the floor. Coming back into that downward dog, back into tabletop. And we're gonna go ahead and step the right foot up this time. So first, making sure the knees are properly at 90-degree angles, and now we're going to tilt the hips forward. This time, left arm reaches up and over towards the right. Feeling that stretch all the way down your side. Good. Bring the hands down onto the floor. I'm going to bring my right toes back towards my booty. I'm going to reach my right hand back behind me. Sorry, left toes I meant. And now wherever you are, I want you to try and open up that chest a bit more and breathe. Good, and relax. Bring that hand back around, back to all fours. I want you to separate the knees about the width of your mat. Bring the toes into touch and press the hips down towards the heels. Extend the arms all the way out. Relax your head on the floor, and then press your palms into the floor to try and bring the heels, or the hips rather, further down towards your heels. And breathe. Beautiful. I want you to walk it up here, and we're going to go ahead and flip it over onto our back. All the way down, I want you to bring the knees into your chest. Hug yourself here. Good. I'm going to extend my left leg all the way down onto the floor. Keep the right knee into the chest. Hug it in a bit closer. Good. Inhale. And on the exhale, I want you to lift that leg all the way up towards the ceiling, so you can bring your hands behind your thigh, or if you have a bit more flexibility, behind your shin. Pressing the lower back into the floor here to deepen that stretch. Good, a few breaths. Beautiful. Let's bend that knee back into the chest. Bring the left knee in to meet the right, and I'm going to place my right foot on top of my left knee, pressing my right knee away from me. So I'm coming into a figure four here. Interlace the hands around the left thigh, and you're going to pull the legs in towards you, feeling that stretch in your hip. Good, a few deep breaths. Good, let's relax the knees here, bring them back, put both into the chest. I want you to lengthen out your arms at your sides so your upper body looks like it's in a figure T, and you're going to bring the knees over to the left side in the spinal twist. And then once you get there, I want you to bring your gaze over to your right shoulder. And breathe super deeply here, twisting out the spine. Good, coming back through center. Let's go ahead and extend the right leg out on the mat this time. Hug that left knee into the chest. Inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and lengthen that leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Again, hands can come behind your thigh or behind your calf. And then wherever you are, press that lower back into the mat to deepen the stretch. Good, bend the knee into the chest. Let's bring the right knee in to meet the left. Switching sides here, left foot over the right knee. Interlace the hands around the right thigh as you bring that leg in towards you, opening up the left hip. And breathe. Good. Relax here. Both knees come back into the chest. Lengthen out those arms at your sides back into a figure T. And we're going to go ahead and drop the knees over to the right side. And then once you get there, you're going to bring your gaze over to the left shoulder. Enjoying this final stretch here, finishing off with this spinal stretch. A few deep breaths. Beautiful. Go ahead and bring those knees back into the center. Hug yourself super tight. Bring your forehead in to touch your knees. Super, super tight. And then relax, arms overhead, legs all the way down. Relax your head. Let your body hang super heavy here. Feel that weight of the skin on your bones. Let everything just melt into the earth. I invite you to hang out here for perhaps a minute, maybe two, maybe more. Enjoy this feeling of relaxation. And We are all done.